day, everyone. Welcome back to the Doc of Detox show. Today's show is called Spoiled Rotten, the all-American meat and potato man. But before we get started, I'd like to talk about taking back your power. Better still, how would you like to learn how to keep it? Our most popular training is our personalized treatment and training. This training is for couples, families, groups, singles, friends, and those who have caretakers. This training is about learning the most powerful anti-aging body work and how to reverse the aches and the pains and the so-called irreversible. How would it feel to not only master your own body, but to be the guiding light, the practitioner that leads your family out of pain and back to vibrant health on an emotional and physical level? This 7 to 10 day training will change your life and those around you for the rest of their lives. Personal treatment and training to go, is one of our most popular. This is where we will send our master trainers to you anywhere around the world. They will teach you in the privacy of your own home how to create the perfect day. How would you like to learn the most powerful anti-aging body work where you can work on a family member when they pull a muscle, so that they don't have to go to surgery? You heard what I said. It's the loving baby steps each and every day. And if we learn how to do these on a nutritional, emotional, and through body work, then we can be the practitioners we've always wanted to find. Understand that. So we will come to you anywhere around the world, or you can come to us at the Doc of Detox Clinic and stay in our beautiful Oasis condo that overlooks the lake and overlooks the mountains. And for those of you who are practitioners and want to bring your practice and your profession up to the highest level, or if you've always wanted to be a practitioner but believed it was going to cost too much in time and money, that ends here. My guarantee to you is that you have the ability to become a professional practitioner and create financial success in the world of natural health. All of our certification courses are registered with the World Organization of Natural Medicine. Our 7-day whole life coach certification is the most in-depth, advanced training regarding emotional wellness, nutrition, detoxification, and physical care. Our 7-day Wolfe Deep Tissue certification is the world's most powerful body work in reversing all acute and chronic conditions. To prove this, we offer a 100% money-back guarantee not only on our treatments, but on all of our courses. Our 4-day Wolfe Non-Surgical certification is the only course of its kind in the world, and the name speaks for itself. This therapy cures the so-called incurable, focusing on the pelvic area, abdomen, breasts, heart, and face, from organ alignment to facial structuring to breast lifting and restructuring to abdominal restoration and scar tissue elimination. This course will set you apart from all others. These courses can be taken separately or together as a 21-day advanced certification. And understand this indisputable fact: get trained or remain treated and medicated until you become spoiled rotten. Oh, and by the way, the all-American meat and potato man is spoiled rotten. Hey, honey, I'm home. I've had a hard day and I'm starving to death. Well, of course the meat and potato man is starving to death. He's malnourished, toxic, and he's been programmed to only satisfy his taste buds and fill his stomach. Yeah, he's usually a little grumpy, and every day is a hard day because he only has a 4-inch consciousness when it comes to his diet. My grandmother used to say, "Daryl, your grandfather's not grumpy. He's just constipated." At the time, I did not understand, but in time, I grew to understand this would become a normal way of life for the majority. Oh, and by the way, my grandfather died of bowel cancer. The lesson here is, it doesn't pay to hold on to things emotionally or physically too long. They can turn on you and even take you down. Our meat and potato man has never been taught the guidelines of what healthy eating or healthy thinking is, or the need to gently cleanse his large intestine on a daily basis. This is no fault of his or his wife's. It's just part of the family curse. Question everything. Always question your beliefs. Always question authority. Just like everyone else, the meat and potato man's idea of a nutritional diet has been passed down through the family and is based on hand-me-down tips, media advertising, and the 8 hours of nutritional training that their doctor received. God help us. As far as health tips go, the rules to the eating game have changed drastically over the last 75 years. Environmental toxicity has skyrocketed, and all this glicky, sticky, gooey, processed, fried, chemical-laden, new and improved GMO food is spoiling us rotten from the inside out and the bottom up. And as far as nutritional facts obtained through the media, make sure you have a great medical plan. The average medical doctor is not trained in nutrition or detoxification, so it's not fair to make them responsible for something they have never been educated for in the first place. Medical doctors specialize in emergency care, and if you use them for your daily care, then you are putting your life at risk and may very well turn out to be a 911 emergency. Understand, 8 hours of nutritional education won't cut it because they specialize in drugs to kill the pain, which shuts down the body. This does not create a loving, caring relationship within your body. If you use the medical system for your main health care, then you are unconsciously running a dysfunctional life support program. This means real self-love and true self-care are almost non-existent for you, or it's because you've been swept up in this domino effect of unconscious living like 98% of the population. Understand this, it's your life, it's your body, and it's always been your God-given responsibility to love and care for it daily with gentle baby steps. To conform to the norm, in my opinion, makes for an emotionally and physically abusive lifestyle, but don't take my word for it. Look at the statistics. What programs are you running? Talking about programs, our meat and potato man has never been taught how to deal with his emotions, or that nutritious food is a must or bust. So he is always starving to be emotionally and physically fulfilled on so many levels. Your personality equals your reality. You better get this. And how's that working for you? Understand this. When one is always starving, one is always eating. Negative emotions can never be satisfied no matter how much you eat. They will only be buried. Here's the dirty little secret of corporate America. Teach the population to eat lots of empty foods with chemical hooks and very little nutritional value. What? This makes no sense, you may think? Oh, grasshopper, it's long past making sense and on to making billions. Their master plan consists of teaching people to eat food deprived of nutrients. This evil plot is making corporations rich while causing the all-American meat and potato man to become sick, frustrated, and broke. Not just broke, but actually breaking down both physically and emotionally on all levels. Where's the love? Understand this. Corporations have become an evil entity with no blood, feeling, or heartbeat. Just a ferocious bottom line. The meat and potato man is now spoiled rotten, rotting from the inside out and the bottom up. I love when a plan comes together, don't you? And the plot thickens. Now it's off to the doctor, he goes, to get more chemicals, except this time, let's call them medicine. Oh, what a wicked web we weave when we let ourselves be deceived. Because the meat and potato man now looks like and feels like, well, you know what I mean. He has unknowingly turned his body into a human garbage can. He now needs drugs to suppress the pain, inflammation, swelling, and the dis-ease he has unknowingly created. Have you ever had the feeling you've been played? Do you want to know how the meat and potato man can mess up this evil plot? By taking his power back. Better still, how about not giving it away in the first place? You can live by chance or by choice. You decide. Become a Braveheart or blow apart. The key is the following. Always question authority because you are the only authority for you. Believe nothing you read, hear, or see until you have proven it for yourself first and foremost. Your body is counting on you. Always make sure the decisions you are making are actually yours and not unconscious downloads of deception. Now let's feed that starving, malnourished, toxic, and tired meat and potato man. Being the loving wife she is, she gives him a large serving of meat and potatoes and a large glass of milk. For what? Well, to wash his food down. The starving meat and potato man gulps down his food, barely tasting or chewing it. I'm sure he must think he's got a second set of teeth in his stomach. We must always chew our food well. The smaller the particle size of the food allows for a greater surface area for stomach acid and enzymes to digest, assimilate, and capture the nutrients. Look, it's either digest or putrefy. Choose wisely. Another golden rule for effective digestion is never mix a protein with a starch. Meat requires protein enzymes for digestion, and starches, such as potatoes, require starch enzymes. When these enzymes are mixed together, they neutralize one another and allow the ingested food to putrefy, otherwise rot. Instead of the food being digested by enzymes, it breaks down and putrefies, creating more bad bacteria. A side effect of this is bloating created by nauseous gas that these bad bacteria release. Where do you think your stinky farts are coming from? In addition, mixing different types of concentrated cooked foods takes much more energy to digest than the actual energy derived from eating the food. This should be obvious if you're conscious, because after a meal, you should feel energized, not sluggish. Remember, we eat for energy. But did you know that the average all-American meat and potato man meal takes 70% of your daily energy to even digest? But the real problem with this is, if you are already tired before you eat, digestion is never complete, and your back door is never going to smell sweet. Another problem arises. Not only are the body's internal enzymes neutralized by improper food combining, the cooked foods have had their naturally occurring enzymes destroyed through the heat used in the cooking process. As my grandmother used to say, the more you cook, the worse you look. The more you fry, the sooner you die. Just understand, your food has a much greater chance of putrefying in a tired and weak digestive tract. This will lead to gas, ulcers, inflammation, infection, heartburn, bad breath, sinus problems, tinnitus, bloating, constipation, diarrhea, and this is only the beginning of the domino effect of unconscious living. When we make unhealthy food choices, this makes for a bumpy ride all the way from the mouth to the rectum. It is always a wise decision to have a salad with every meal when possible. The live enzymes aid in digestion, and the fiber supports the cleansing and toning of the digestive tract and also restores the good bacteria in your large intestine, which we've already talked about is 85% of your immune system. To maintain a healthy body in this day and age, the greater weight and volume of your diet must come from whole plant-based food. Understand, all foods carry a vibrational frequency. Is your diet bringing your frequency, otherwise energy, up or down? Life breeds life. The more fresh and raw you eat, the more vibrant or high vibrational you will look and feel. Fresh and raw foods carry a high vibrational frequency that aids in both healing, the building of a strong immune system, and a happier you. The flip side of the coin is the more you cook, the worse you look. As I stated earlier, the more you fry, the sooner you die. Cooked and processed foods carry a low or no vibrational frequency, which vibrates at the level of sickness, breeding infectious invaders known as parasites, fungus, and bad bacteria. How low will you go? Heads you win, tails you lose. There goes your health. Remember, when you were younger and you could eat a whole pizza. Try to do that today and see how you look and feel. Our body simply does not produce the amount of enzymes that we need, okay, to digest the food that we used to when we were younger. The last time I ate like that, I woke up in the morning looking like the Pillsbury Doughboy and feeling like I got hit by a train. No one enjoys a hit and run. Eat live food and stay that way, nature's way. Let's get back to the all-American meat and potato man. He's almost finished eating his meal, or rather gulping down his food, to be more accurate. He begins to feel better because his sugar glucose is climbing and he's feeling more energetic. His wife says, "Honey, do you think you would like to come for a walk with me tonight? We haven't done that for a long while." "Sure, sweetie," he agrees. His wife finishes eating and starts cleaning the dishes. Our meat and potato man is just finishing his supper, and his wife asks, "Dear, are you full yet?" And of course he belches and states, "I think I have a little bit more room." He belches because he is suffering from low hydrochloric acid production in his stomach due to the buildup of mucus congestion created from the constant irritation, inflammation, and improper food combining from this all-American diet. As the meal is drawing to an end, so is he. He grows even more tired, poor guy. No matter how much he eats, he can't get his energy back. He's been backed up for years and he doesn't even know it. Poor eating habits have spoiled him rotten. His food has begun to putrefy due to a broken down digestive tract and poor dietary habits. As I mentioned earlier, we either digest our food with enzymes or it breaks down through putrefaction, otherwise rotting with bad bacteria. The purpose of eating was meant to feed the body, not fill it. So then his wife says, "Honey, how about that walk? I'll finish the dishes and we'll go," she says. "Gee, dear, I don't know. Something has come over me. I'm too tired to go for a walk right now. I think I'll just sit here for a while and digest my food," he replies. Little does he know, for him, it's called putrefaction. You see, our meat and potato man has never eaten in an effective, healthy way. He eats like the majority. So for him, this is as good as it gets, and guess what? The worst is yet to come. Blood flow has decreased in his limbs and other organs and has increased in his digestive tract because it is overwhelmed and in crisis from all this overeating and mistreating. This surge of blood supply to his abdomen is a life-saving, protective response coming from his body system in hopes to reduce this putrefaction of his latest meal so his toxemia, otherwise dirty blood, does not escalate into acidosis and a full-blown body inflammation situation. This reduced blood flow to his arms, legs, and head has also deprived him of the little oxygen he did have. This has made him feel even more tired than when he started to eat. This is what happens when you live to eat instead of eating to live. Life is short-lived. This is a story where an abnormal abdomen is now viewed normal. The heat is on, the pressure is starting to build down below, and the meat and potato man, he's getting ready to blow. So we gotta wake up, show up before we blow up. And let me ask you a question. When was it that men looking 3 to 6 months pregnant became a normal way of life for the majority? I'll tell you when. When corporations learned they could master the minds of the masses. Where the mind goes, the body follows. The meat and potato man is now ready to blow. You guessed it. He has had to loosen his belt a couple of notches to make room for his bulging belly. There's a cesspool down below that gives rise to the bad bacteria, which are now creating a toxic, nauseous gas that's blowing him up like a hot air balloon. "Gee, honey," he gasps, "I feel pressure on my chest. I feel like I'm having a heart attack." Little does he know, he's just like 95% of the other men that get rushed to the hospital with angina when it's actually a fart attack, not a heart attack. He's all gassed up and ready to blow. It's only been a short time after the supper meal, and our meat and potato man is starting to rumble. The dinner table begins to shake. His wife turns in fright to see her husband, red in the face, one hand on his waistline and the other hand over his heart, and kaboom across the room. He lets one go from the back door that shoots him across the kitchen floor. The gas was so strong, It shot him long, all the way over to the couch. Maybe that's a good thing for 4 reasons. He may not have moved all night. He can now pull his belt in an extra inch. The pressure around his heart has been alleviated from the release of the gas, and another trip to the hospital has been diverted. Hundreds of people each day visit emergency rooms mistaking a heart attack for a gas attack. As the hot gas rises and puts pressure on the lungs and heart, the acidity eats up the minerals and the oxygen needed by these organs, causing undue stress and pressure in the chest. It's always better to be safe than sorry, but hey, let's first lighten the load and flush the pounds to take the pressure off. It's daily cleansing tea time, not Miller time. Eventually, something will have to give if he continues down the same old path. The next time, it may be more than just gas for this master blaster. Let's get back to our story. Are you okay, honey? His wife yells from the kitchen. Yes, honey, he groans. The pressure's gone, but not the rotten feeling. Something just doesn't smell right. Honey, I think I'll just lay here on the couch a few minutes before I walk. Minutes turn into hours, and now our all-American meat and potato man is now Mr. Couch Potato. Does he remind you of anyone? Did you know that 7 million people yearly are rushed to the emergency room with acid reflux? And yes, he's gripping his chest, and the heartburn he is experiencing now has our Mr. Couch Potato's full attention. Well, it did. You guessed it. A few minutes later, he's sawing logs, snoring to beat the band, and they're playing Roll Out the Barrel. Do you know why he's snoring? The food was miscombined. It was cooked to death, and he didn't chew it. And seeing that his digestive tract is sick and exhausted, his food is becoming spoiled rotten like the rest of his body. It's now up to the bacteria to decompose this undigested meal, which will soon cause a toxic waste spillover, nauseous gas, decreased oxygen, fungus, parasites, and inflammation throughout his whole body. The snoring is caused by his exhausted state, sinus inflammation, excessive mucus caused by inflammation, and of course, lack of oxygen from the cesspool that's created that smelly belly down below. Do you know that 70 million people suffer from sinus problems today? 20 million people suffer from asthma and 2 million from emphysema. We have become walking, talking, mucus-making inflammation factories inside and out. Understand this, our meat and potato man is fighting for his life, whether he or his wife realize it or not. We are a world full of zombies that talk about love but have no self-love. We talk about health care but have no self-care. We complain and explain while we ride the pain train, watching our families cry and even die because we can't break free from this family curse created by corporations and the systems that we have come to trust. Just because unconscious living has become a normal way of life for almost the whole population does not make it right when loved ones are dying right under our noses. So let me ask you a question. So where's Romeo now? Where's the walk he promised honey? All we have now is a couch potato sawing logs. Well, here we are again. It's 11 p.m. and time for bed. His wife gently wakes him up, but he's grumpy as a bear and he has the breath to match it. Why? Because nobody feels good or smells good when they're rotting inside. He's not grumpy. He's just constipated. And for most of us, this constipation is more emotional than physical. Luckily, it's only 11 o'clock, just in time for his daily dose of bad news. Like he doesn't feel bad enough already. Remember, like attracts like. He needs to confirm that someone out there is doing worse than him. So he turns on the news where all the worst events in the world are exaggerated and condensed into a half an hour of more stomach upset where he swallows even more indigestible garbage that will turn on him. This is programming at its worst, but on the bright side, it makes him feel better on some crazy level knowing that there's somebody out there doing worse than him. His focus is now on all the world's problems, illusionary world problems that he cannot solve and are none of his business, instead of focusing on the real problem he can, being the master of his health and reviving his relationship with his body and his sweetie. Look, this is a true tragic love story that occurs way too much and too often, and you know how this story ends. Another unfulfilled night with his loving wife, and of course, the walk stays on hold. So now he peels himself off the couch and drags his butt to bed. And because the news was the last thought on his mind, the sweet dreams will now be restless nightmares. So the cycle continues. You guessed it. It's 3:35 a.m. in the morning, and our meat and potato man has been to the washroom 3 times. Just like his bowel, hardly anything comes out, and when it does, he has to force it. Drip, drip, drop. His sluggish bowel, his bladder infection, his hiatal hernia, and let us not forget his inflamed prostate, have caused his life to become a daily struggle with no end in sight. The domino effect is in full force due to his colon in a coma, and it's spilling toxic waste into his pelvis. He is cursed with continual bladder infections, prostate inflammation, erectile dysfunction, and down the road, possibly prostate cancer. When your cells are bathed in toxic waste long enough, inflammation, internal scar tissue formation, calcification, and mutation is the only reward. All the meat and potato man's energy has been redirected to fight this raging fire of inflammation in his pelvis. You are what you focus on, and his focus is a fearful future. Life sucks when you believe others are responsible for your life. Perception is everything. So now his dreams of a better life are on hold until he learns or just burns out. Understand that the prostate is located right behind the bladder and in front of the sigmoid colon, which makes this area a landmine for the prostate because 90% of most men struggle with chronic constipation and don't even know it. I call this landmine the prostate sandwich. Whether the medical system wishes to recognize this indisputable fact or not, constipation is the number one cause of prostate inflammation and cancer of the prostate for men. And it is the number one reason for inflammation and cancer in the pelvic area for women. Look, the majority of all bowel cancers happen within the last 6 inches of your sigmoid colon. Otherwise, within a finger's reach. This would be the rectum. Almost killed him. As I've stated countless times before, the mother of all organs is the large intestine, and shutting her down will create a domino effect of disease throughout your whole body to last your whole lifetime. Show the large intestine the respect that it deserves, or it will back up, causing you to break down and all cell will break loose. Now let's get back to our story. Our meat and potato man wakes up as grumpy as a bear with a sinus headache and just as tired as when he went to sleep. Look at 12 million people suffer from sleep apnea. 45 million people suffer from chronic headaches. Look, the meat and potato man could not get any rest, recuperate, or restore. His body was under attack and working overtime all night long, trying to deal with this toxic state. Oh, and by the way, you better not speak to him until he has had his morning coffee. He needs his daily fix of caffeine to get going in more ways than one. Number 1, to alleviate his exhausted state so he can participate in life on some level. And I mean this in the best way. But understand, as long as he remains unconscious of his power to heal himself, he will continue to be mastered by others. Number two, he will be working on number two for the next 20 to 30 minutes. He must now use coffee as a stimulant to go to the washroom, as he has done for the last few years, because the large intestine is in a state of coma. Otherwise, it's down and out and lacking tone. All this pushing to force a bowel movement has created hemorrhoids the size of grapes, and now he walks like John Wayne. How's that working for you, partner? He also suffers from a hiatal hernia resulting from the countless years of grunting and groaning to squeeze a bowel movement out every morning when he's not experiencing diarrhea. So here he sits, brokenhearted. Wish for a movement, but only farted. As far as his morning coffee goes, it does not give energy. It steals energy from the body because it's a stimulant. When it hits the liver, it increases metabolism, giving a false sense of energy that is simply stolen from the organ itself, the liver. If only he realized the best things in life are not found in a lineup, on a TV, in a newspaper, or the tip of the day from his buddies or his medical doctor. Sometimes you have to look under a rock, climb a mountain, or swim a river, but understand something. The true answer will come when you search inside yourself. If the all-American meat and potato man woke up one day and turned his back on the media, corporations, systems, and embraced creating the perfect day in a nutritional, physical, and emotional way, he would become the Braveheart warrior for himself and the light for his family. He would finally say goodbye to those coffee blues. Goodbye constipation, inflammation, and hello, honey, I love my life and I love you. Let's go for that walk, maybe a mile or two. So never give up on you. There's a hidden practitioner in all of us. Awaken your brave heart by taking small, gentle, loving steps each and every day towards the perfect day, because you are the answer that you seek. Say goodbye to the all-American meat and potato man and say hello to the all-American Braveheart hero. Look, if you enjoyed Spoiled Rotten, then you're going to love the Perfect Day Guide, the Braveheart Way Guide, I Am Woman Guide, the Domino Effect of Unconscious Living Guide. You're going to find these in my Doc of Detox library. Never forget what and who you truly are. And here's my oath to you. I am love. I am healed. I am Braveheart. Today and every day, from the moment I rise until I gently close my eyes, I will trust, honor, respect, protect, forgive, and totally love myself first and foremost before anyone else or anything else. So help me God. Because I am, I can, I am healed, I am Braveheart. I want to thank you from the bottom of my heart for joining me on this Doc of Detox show. God bless, and have the best day every day, creating the perfect life.